Calling the roll for the Monday, November 18, 2024 Board of Control meeting. It is 11:06 a.m. We have Councilmember Meredith Turner,
Present.
Levine Ross serving as an alternate for Dale Miller,
Present.
Trevor Meckler serving as an alternate for Purnell Jones Jr.,
Here.
Melanie Say serving as an alternate for Mike Dever,
Here.
Catherine Gallagher serving as an alternate for Chris Ronay, County Executive,
Here.
Mike Chambers, Fiscal Officer serving as Chairman,
Here.
Paul Porter.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is the review and the approval of the minutes from November 12th. I will make the motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Turner. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The minutes are approved. Any public comment?
No public comment?
Let's go to our first item.
First item, new item for review, BC 2024-380, Department of Public Works recommending an award on RQ 13735 and submitting a contract with Paladin Protective Systems Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $200,000 for fire extinguisher maintenance and inspection and kitchen hood cleaning and inspection effective upon signatures of all parties for a period of 3 years.
Good morning, everyone. Tom Pavich, Public Works. This is board recommendation of Paladine. This is for the county fire extinguisher maintenance, inspection, and replacements in the kitchen hoods of the various cafes across the county. This is a 3-year contract not to exceed. It stems from a competitive RFP process. We had 3 proposals. We scored them, and Paladine was the compliant vendor with the highest scoring.
Okay, thank you, Tom. Are there questions from the board on this item? Seeing no questions from the board, I will make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Turner. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The item is
Thank you.
approved.
Let the record reflect that Dale Miller is now present.
Okay, so be it. Thank you. Next item?
Next item, BC 2024-831, Department of Development submitting an RFP exemption which will result in a payment to Cleveland Cuyahoga Workforce Development Board in the amount not to exceed $20,000 to support facilitation of the creation of a youth mental health and substance abuse workforce that is a competitive advantage for Northeast Ohio and build alignment among public, private, and philanthropic funders for the period November 18, 2024 through December 31st, 2024, and submitting a purchase order with said RFP exemption.
Good morning, Paul Herdig with the Department of Development. We are providing one-time operating support as part of a collective group of funders joining to provide this support. This will be used for the salary and costs of having a single person housed at the Workforce Development Board to lead this project, to find ways essentially to have more staff available to provide youth mental health services in our community.
Okay, thank you, Paul. Are there any questions from the board on this item? Seeing no questions, I will make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Turner. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? The item is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item.
Next item, BC 2024-832, Court of Common Pleas Corrections Planning Board recommending an award on RQ 14381 and submitting a contract with Oriana House Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $280,300 for cognitive behavioral change program utilizing the Thinking for a Change T4C model for the period July 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2025.
Good morning. This is Linda Lagoonzad from the Corrections Planning Board. The Common Pleas Court would like to enter into a 1-year contract with Oriana House Incorporated to provide the Thinking for a Change program model. The model will incorporate evidence-based cognitive behavioral therapy sessions designed to reduce thinking errors and improve justice-related outcomes for all moderate and high-risk offenders engaged with the Common Pleas Court's criminal justice system. Oriana will provide 50 hours or 25 sessions of services to all moderate and high-risk offenders and offer an additional 13.5 hours of booster sessions to high-risk offenders. This contract is associated with an RFP process that occurred this past spring and summer. The court received 3 submissions in response to the RFP: Oriana House, Guidestone, and TASK, which is the Treatment Alternatives to Street Crime program. Oriana's submission was the best choice for 3 reasons: its extensive experience in providing the required T4C therapy model, its existing staff they are already certified and experienced to implement the model, and it will provide the most hours of service to benefit the offenders served. Oriana will provide a combination of virtual and in-person services in the Courthouse Square building and at North Star Neighborhood Reentry Resource Center in Cleveland.
Okay, thank you, Linda. Are there questions from the board on this item? Seeing no questions, I will make a motion to approve the item. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. McAleer. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? The item is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item?
Next, item BC 2024-833, Department of Information Technology, on behalf of the Sheriff's Department, submitting an RFP exemption which will result in an award recommendation to M&J Technologies Direct Incorporated and the amount not to exceed $51,194 for a state contract purchase of 22 HP Zebra Firefly mobile workstations, each to include HP CarePack hardware support, 5-year extended warranty, HP Absolute Data and Device Security for education professional subscription licenses, docking stations, carrying cases, and 44 monitors, and submitting a purchase order with said RFP exemption.
Good morning, Dennis Sullivan on behalf of the Department of IT. This purchase via state term scheduling via M&J is on behalf of the Sheriff's Department. The mobile workstations and the accessories are IT standards.
Thank you, Dennis. Are there questions from the board? Seeing no questions, I will make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Miller. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? The item is approved. Next item?
Next, item BC 2024-834. Department of Information Technology submitting an RFP exemption which will result in an award recommendation to M&J Technologies Direct Incorporated and the amount not to exceed $416,769 for a state contract purchase of mobile and mini workstations, monitors, docking stations, keyboards with mouse and chargers, HP CarePack hardware support, 5-year extended warranty, and HP Absolute Data and Device Security for education professional subscription licenses in varying quantities, and submitting a purchase order with said RFP exemption.
Dennis Sullivan with the Department of IT. These M&J state term schedule pricing purchases are IT standards. They're for IT, they're for refresh, and for new hire.
Okay, thank you, Dennis. Are there questions from the board on this item? Seeing no questions, I will make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman Turner. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Item approved. Next item.
Next, item BC 2024-835, Department of Information Technology submitting an RFP exemption which will result in an award recommendation to M&J Technologies Direct Incorporated and the amount not to exceed $147,054.50 for state contract purchase of various HP products and support as listed for item B1 through 4 on the printed agenda, and submitting a purchase order with said RFP exemption.
Dennis Sullivan, Department of IT. Again, M&J state term scheduling for IT standards, and this is HP server and accessories.
Okay, Dennis, thank you. Are there questions from the board on this item? Seeing no questions, I will make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Paul Porter. All in favor to approve, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The item is approved. Next item?
Next, item BC 2024-836, Department of Information Technology recommending award and submitting a purchase order with the Ohio State University DBA OrNet and the amount not to exceed $126,516.48 for the purchase of 1,120 VMware Cloud Foundation 5 and 256 VMware Cloud Foundation Edge 5 for Edge deployment-only software subscriptions for the period July 31st, 2024 through July 30th, 2025.
Dennis Sullivan, Department of IT again. This one was held up a little bit. The dates that Cheryl just read into the record are accurate. VMware was sold out to an outfit called Broadcom. They restricted their resellers into extending any kind of pricing until it was all negotiated and finalized. Once that was done, we came forward with this, but yes, we do need those dates. And OrNet is our VM basic IT standard platform. This is a managing tool, virtual servers, the VM stands for. We have 350 to 400 virtual servers throughout the county.
Okay, Dennis, thank you again. Questions from the board on this item? Seeing no questions, I will make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Miller. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The item is approved. Next item.
Next, item BC 2024-837, Department of Information Technology submitting an RFP exemption, which will result in award recommendation to M&J Technologies Direct Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $25,744.20 for a joint cooperative purchase of 6 Zebra rugged tablets, each to include keyboards, adapters, and a 5-year extended service agreement, and submitting a purchase order with said RFP exemption.
Dennis Sullivan, Department of IT. This exemption is joint co-op pricing. This is for the security and the engineering team when their techs are out in the field, and these are replacing 7-year-old laptops.
Okay, thank you. Are there questions from the board on this item? Seeing no questions, I will make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman Turner. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Oppose? The item is approved. Next item?
Next item, BC 2024-838, Department of Information Technology submitting an RFP exemption, which will result in an award recommendation to M&J Technologies Direct Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $16,260 for a state contract purchase of 12 right-click tool subscriptions for a period of 1 year, and submitting a purchase order with said RFP exemption.
Dennis Sullivan, Department of IT, M&J, state term scheduling pricing on this. This right-click is a subscription software service that allows us reporting features that keeps us in compliance with Microsoft's endpoint management. It's a device compliance software tool.
Okay, thank you. Are there questions from the board on this item? Seeing no questions, I will make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman Turner. All in favor to approve, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Item approved. Next item?
Next item, BC 2024-839, Department of Information Technology, on behalf of the Department of Communications, submitting an amendment to a contract with Canto Incorporated for cloud-based digital asset management system services for the period October 28, 2019 through October 31st, 2024, to extend the time period to October 31st, 2026, to replace the insurance requirements and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $51,400 effective October 31st, 2024.
Dennis Sullivan, Department of IT, as Cheryl read in, Canto is the platform for the video and the photo repository, if you will. It's growing immensely. We have over 14,000 photos and 660 videos that are maintained and will be further maintained upon your approval of this second amendment.
Okay, Dennis, thank you. Questions from the board? Councilman, please.
Is there any assessment being done as to whether we need to maintain all these videos? What purpose do they serve to have this large of a library?
My understanding, Dale, is that our multimedia group within IT has already examined all this and evaluated it, and the decision was to go to this cloud base, that was the best way to handle it.
Okay. Seeing no further questions, I will make a motion to approve the item. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Paul Porter. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The item is approved. Next
Thank you.
item.
Next item, BC 2024-840, Department of Information Technology submitting an RFP exemption, which will result in an award recommendation to Integrated Precision Systems Incorporated and the amount not to exceed $100,000 for state contract purchase of bidirectional data interface, enabling data exchange between the Info-Time and attendance system, the Galaxy Access Control System, and other county systems effective upon signatures of all parties for a period of 1 year, and submitting a contract with said RFP exemption.
Good morning, David DeGrandis from the Department of IT. This is a state term schedule fees or quote from IPS in order to support the information coming from the GHR or HR system into System Galaxy and sending data back. This is our third contract dealing with this, and some of the other work that we're doing includes the data retention piece. We have over 400,000 transactions in the Galaxy system per month. That's card reads and such. And it's, so we're working on the archive and integrated system log for this, and also adding other departments in that are not managed through our GHR and HR system, such as juvenile court and Court of Appeals, and also to look into attorney badges and non-county badge maintenance, non-county employee badge maintenance for attorneys and contractors.
Okay, thank you, David. Are there questions from the board on this item? Councilman, please.
Yes, just one, if I may. Can you tell us more about the Galaxy system, what it is and what it's used for.
Right, System Galaxy is, it's twofold. It works as our photo identification system and as our access control system. Access control allows us to use our badges to swipe in and out of different buildings and provide audit reports based upon where that is, where those folks go.
And is this a system within our internal system, or is this an outside company that we contract with that provides the service?
This particular contract is provided by IPS, but internally, we manage most of what goes on in the system. We have a Sheriff's Department maintains a separate contract with IPS for the maintenance of all of our security systems. So that's video surveillance cameras, access control devices, intercoms, those types of devices.
And what does IPS stand for?
It used to be Integrated Precision Systems. Now it is information, it's something, it's IP technology, I think they call it now, but it's Integrated Precision Systems, or IP systems, they call it now.
Okay, thank you.
Any further questions? Seeing no further questions, I will make a motion to approve the item. Is there a second? Second by Mr. McAleer. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? The item is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item?
Next item, BC 2024-841, Cuyahoga County Law Library submitting an RFP exemption, which will result in a payment to Thomson Reuters West Publishing Corporation in the amount not to exceed $35,354.17 for reconciliation of invoices for the purchase of various books and literature made between August 1st, 2023 through July 31st, 2024, and submitting a purchase order with said RFP exemption.
Good morning, Marcos Cortez with Health and Human Services on behalf of the Law Library. Again, this is a purchase order for the purchases of law books and journals. These books are updated frequently. Lawyers rely on the current information to make committed legal decisions to avoid malpractice. The reason this is late is the vendor submitted an invoice back in May of 2023. The Law Library deemed that it was not correct and asked them to update it. They said it was correct and actually also said that we owed them some more money. So there was some back and forth with them for over a year. We finally received an updated invoice back in August, and any older charges were cleared up on October 1st. Unfortunately, the Law Library does not have staff that enters purchase orders regularly, so they reached out to the Department of Purchasing, who asked us to enter the purchase order for them. So that's why we're here today.
Thank you, Marcos. Are there questions from the board on this item? Seeing no questions, I will make a motion to approve the item. Is there a second? Second by Ms. Melanie Say. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The item is approved. Next item?
Next item, BC 2024-842, Sheriff's Department submitting an assignment and assumption and an amendment to a contract for professional standards software solutions for the period January 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2024, to extend the time period to December 31st, 2025, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $29,325, effective upon signatures of all parties, as listed for items A and B on the printed agenda.
Good morning, Chris Costin, Sheriff's Department. This is a two-part item. The first part is changing the name from CI Technologies to Versatern Public Safety. The second part is extending the term for 1 year and to add funds for the record management system that Internal Affairs use for investigations and a direct communication between management and human resources on these investigations. There was a slight increase of $575 from 2024.
Thank you, Chris. Are there questions from the board on this item? Okay, seeing no questions, I will make a motion to approve the item. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Miller. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? The item is approved. Next item?
Next item, BC 2024-843, Sheriff's Department submitting an RFP exemption, which will result in an award recommendation to XL K-9 Services Incorporated and the total amount not to exceed $28,600 for the purchase of 2 dual-purpose K-9s for law enforcement, as listed for items B1 and 2 on the printed agenda, and submitting a purchase order with said RFP exemption.
Good morning, Chris Costin, Sheriff's Department. This item is to purchase 2 canines for our law enforcement division through Excel K-9 Services. Both these canines will be going home with their handlers.
Okay, thank you, Chris. Are there questions from the board on this item? Seeing no questions, I will make the motion to approve it. Is there a second? Seconded by Councilwoman Turner. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Oppose? The item is approved. Next item.
Next, item BC 2024-844, Sheriff's Department submitting a revenue-generating agreement with Village of Mayfield at a per diem rate of $173 per prisoner per day for prisoner board and care services effective upon contract signatures of all parties through December 31st, 2025.
Good morning, Chris Costin, Sheriff's Department again. This is a new prisoner board and care agreement with the Village of Mayfield to house their prisoners in our jail.
Okay, Chris, thank you. The questions from the board on this item? Seeing no questions, I will make the motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Miller. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item approved. Next item?
Next, item BC 2024-845, Department of Public Safety and Justice Services requesting authority to apply for grant funds from the Ohio Department of Public Safety Office of Criminal Justice Services in the amount of $25,193.40 for management of the FY 2024 Stop Violence Against Women Act Administrative Grant Program for the period January 1st, 2025 through March 31st, 2026.
Good morning, Mary Beth Vaughn from Public Safety. Our office receives a block grant for VAWA monies. This grant is actually the administrative portion of it, and it reimburses us for staff time spent on that grant. And the local match is in our 2025 budget.
Thank you, Mary Beth. Are there questions from the board on this item? Seeing no questions, I will make a motion to approve. Is there a second? Seconded by Councilwoman Turner. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item is approved.
Thank you.
Next item?
Next, item BC 2024-846, Department of Health and Human Services, Division of Senior and Adult Services, submitting an RFP exemption which will result in an award recommendation to CareStar Learning LLC and the amount not to exceed $1,500 for online educational training services for home health aides for the period September 1st, 2024 through August 31st, 2026, and submitting a purchase order with said RFP exemption.
Good morning again, Marcos Cortez with Health and Human Services on behalf of the Division of Senior and Adult Services. CareStar is an Ohio-based healthcare company that specializes in providing online educational solutions for state and local governments, as well as organizations and individuals responsible for the care of consumers requiring home and community-based services. CareStar offers courses and addresses the core competencies required by the state law for for our home health aides to maintain their certifications.
Thank you, Marcos. Are there questions from the board on this item? Seeing no questions, I will make the motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. McAleer. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The item is approved. Next item?
Next, item BC 2024-847, Department of Health and Human Services, Division of Senior and Adult Services, submitting an amendment to a contract with WellSky Human and Social Services Corporation for the implementation of a software solution to support automated data transfers from the Pure Place system to WellSky Aging and Disability System, formerly known as Social Assistance Management Systems, SAMS, for the period August 1st, 2021 through July 31st, 2024, to extend the time period to July 31st, 2025, to amend the original budget to include Exhibit A1, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $1,877.01, effective August 1st, 2024.
Marcos Cortez again for Senior and Adult Services. We receive funding from the Western Reserve Area Agency on Aging, and they require us to enter information into the WellSky database system. However, we have our own database system, Pure Place. So this particular contract is a solution that allows WellSky to import data directly from Pure Place. This will eliminates the need for double entry of information.
Okay, thank you again, Marcos. Are there questions from the board on this item? Seeing no questions, I will make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Miller. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? The item is approved.
Thank you.
Moving on.
Moving on to consent agenda items BC 2024-848 through BC 2024-851.
Okay, board members, there's just only a couple items. If there's any questions, feel free. Okay, seeing no questions, then I will make a motion to approve today's consent agenda items as listed. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Miller. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? The items are approved. Moving on to other business?
No other business?
Any public comment?
No public comment.
I will make a motion to adjourn. Is there a second? Seconded by Miss Melanie Say. All in favor to adjourn, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you.